Welcome, Geometry iPad Initiative students. This is Mr. Lane again. We'll be discussing 7-1, ratio and proportions. It's kind of late early this morning, but we're going to go ahead and do this lesson. Kind of left my lesson on the USB drive at the school. So this is something that I just found, kind of threw little things together. Going to be a little bit different, but we're going to work our way through it on this lesson here. So might spend a little bit more time on the discussion on this one. But anyways, it's an easy one because it's over ratios and proportions. So make sure you get the title in your notes. Make sure you answer number 5. And let's get to rolling. Watch out for that secret word. Alright, first things first, the ratio of A to B is comparison between two numbers written as a fraction. I guess we're going to have to write that. Which would be A over B. Or it could be written as A dot dot B. Either one of those would be a ratio, a comparison between two numbers. Alright, how do we reduce ratios? Well, either it's in a fraction form or the semicolon form here. Either way, we're just going to reduce it by taking out the common factors. So 64 and 6 is both even, so if I divide by 2, it would be 32 to 3. And that's as far as it would go. Now 5 and 20 have a 5 in common. So if I pull a 5 out, I'd have a 1. Pull a 5 out of the 20, I'd have a 4. And we got the fractions reduced. Alright, let's move on. Alright, an example here, it says the measures of an interior angles of a triangle are of the extended ratio of 1 to 2 to 3. Find the measures of all three angles. Well, when we do this, we want to think of it as x's, like 1x to 2x to 3x. So I'm going to say 1x, if I add the interior angles of a triangle together, plus 2x, then that's going to equal, yes, that's right, 180 degrees. So when I set them all up, so let's see, if I add those together, that's going to be 6x is equal to 180. So if I divide by 6, looks like x would equal 30. So to find all three angles, I've got to plug that value of x into each one of these. So that the smallest angle would just be 30. Well, 2 times 30 would be 60, and 3 times 30 would be 90. So the three angles are 30, 60, 90. Alright, let's move on. Here we got the perimeter of a room is 48. The length to width ratio is 7 to 5. And the length and the width of the room, or we're supposed to find the length and the width of the room. Alright. Well, to find the perimeter, I just add up all the sides. My ratio is 7x to 5x, and I have two of those. Like if I have a rectangle, then I'd have a 7x here, and I'd have a 5x here. So to find the perimeter, I'd have to add another 7x and another 5x. So I'd have, what, a total of 14x from the 7s and 10x from the 5s. And that's going to be equal to the perimeter of 48. So if I add 14 and 10, that's what, 24x is equal to 48. So if I divide by 24, x would equal 2. Let's do the secret word. Secret word today is secret. Don't miss it. Pass me the word secret for 2 points. Alright, you're going to paint the rectangular wall. Let's see, the perimeter of the wall is 484 feet. The ratio of length to width is 9 to 2. Find the area of the wall. So let's see, I got 9x to 2x. So again, if I have two of those, that would be 18x. 18x. Plus 4x from the 2 is equal to 484. So let's see, that's 22x is equal to 484. And divide by 22. And let's see, 22 will go into that. 2 times, that'll be 44. So it'd be 22 for x, actually. Alright. So then if I plug that back in, 9 times 22 and 2 times 22, I know one of them is going to be what? 2 times 22 is going to be 44. 9 times 22, what is that? 18, carry the 1, so it would be 19. So we got the dimensions is 198 for the length and the width of 44, so I need to multiply those two, so I'm probably going to need the old calculator out here. Accessories, calculator. So that's going to be 44 times 198, bam. That's going to be 8,712, and area is going to be units, which is in this case going to be feet squared. Alright, let's move on. We got another one of those. I think you're good on those. I think the next thing we're going to talk about here is we're going to go ahead and jump on into proportions a little bit. So basic proportion would be something like, I don't know, 7x or 7 over x. By the way, proportions are just two fractions set equal to each other. We solve them by cross multiplying. So we got 7 over x is equal to 56 over 72. Now myself, I like to work these the easiest way possible, so before I even start cross multiplying, I'm just going to take a 8 out of both of these. So go down to a 7, that would go down to a 9. So now when I cross multiply, I'll have 63 is equal to my 7x. So if I divide by 7 real quick, it looks like x would equal 9. So all we did was cross multiply, and we came out with our answer. Alright, then they'll have some of the things that will trip you up a little bit, like x minus 4 over 5 equals 20 over x minus 4. Alright, so again, we solve by cross multiplying. 5 times 20 is 100. So that's the easy side. Jake, you got this other side? Alright, thanks, Jake. Alright, so if we're going to multiply x minus 4, now remember this is your, you're going to have to FOIL that on out, right? So hopefully your algebra skills are up to date. Okay, so when we FOIL this out, we'd have x squared minus 8x plus 16. Okay, and then all we have to do is subtract the 100 over here so we can get that side equal to 0. So 16 minus 100 would be negative 84. So drop that minus 8x. And then we got two options to solve this. Probably the easiest way is to try and factor it. Hopefully it will factor nice and easy for us. Your signs, if you remember how to set those up. If not, you might want to go back and look at some old notes. But this will be a minus, this will be a plus. Always x and x here. Algebra 1 class is talking about this stuff right now, so that's pretty cool. What would that be? 14 times 6. Yes, it would be. So there's your 14. There's your 6. Now you want to take each factor and set it equal to 0. So if I got x minus 14 equals 0, I got add 14 to both sides. So that would be x equals 14 for one answer. And then this, when I set it equals 0, subtract the 6, it'd be x equals negative 6. So 2 answers to this proportion. And some very bad handwriting. Hard to write with the old mouse, especially at 1:30 in the morning. Alright, let's cruise on here. This stuff you don't need. Let's get to another blank page. Alright, next thing we need to discuss. Here's the type of problem. It says, given that 18C equals 24D, it says find the ratio of D to C. So we're supposed to find D to C in simplest form. Alright, so we need to get C over here. We need to get the 24 over here. So I want to divide by 24 on both sides, and then divide by C on both sides. So I'll have, what, 18 divided by 24 equals my D over my C. So then I want to reduce this real quick. So 18 and 24 both have a 6 in it, so that's going to be a 3 to a 4. And that's actually our answer. That's my D over C. I could write it 3 dot dot 4, but that's what it's after. Alright, well, I think that's just about it on this lesson. I guess slope is on this also. If you run across a slope problem, all you have to do is use slope formula or plot it and count your rise over your run. So leave it as, if it comes out to be like a 1, just leave it as a fraction. So put it over 1. Or if it came out to be 4, then put it over 1 to get your ratio. Always reduce your ratios, by the way. So I like that little first example that we talked about. So anyways, wrapping this up, this is Mr. Lane signing off from OHS High School. You guys have a great and wonderful day.